Hi, I'm Michelle.
I'm Danny.
And we are
The Little T Homestead.
And today we are going to finish up processing our chickens after they've been in the ice bath for
20,
almost 48 hours.
Yeah, 48 hours.
Yeah, almost 48 hours. And I'm first just going to taking the necks off. We're going to keep the necks, and I'm going to make some broth. And I am just kind of fine tuning, getting any of the little fine hairs off of here and drying as best I can before we put them in the freezer. We also are thinking about, of course I'm going to make broth, but depending on how things go today, I think we're going to try and can some, or pressure can some chicken. Save some of our freezer space anyway. We've got more shelf space than we do freezer space at this point.
And these were Delaware Lavender Orpington crosses and pure Delaware. I don't think we had any, they're a common state.
Yeah.
And they were 22 weeks and 16 weeks. There were two batches of them. Some of them are smaller. The first 6, the largest carcass weight of the first 6 that I weighed is 313, and the smallest is 204. And I want to say there was 4 hens that I got, maybe.
I have no idea.
The rest were all roosters.
You took care of that part.
I think there were only 4 hens, and the rest were roosters. So we're going to do, the bigger birds will be whole, smaller birds we're going to part out.
So have you determined which one's bigger? You're going to weigh this one?
I've done weighed that one. It's good. Do you want to keep the wings on them?
That's what I was wondering.
When you whole cook them, because I mean, you don't get any.
I don't.
I want the wings.
Okay, we'll get the wings.
So what we're using today are just some cheap fillet knives and a torch to burn any of those little hair feathers. Got a pair of shears here. We've got a chamber back sealer and bags that we're going to seal with instead of doing the heat shrink job.
So you can see these little black things. Those are just the little parts, the roots of the feathers that didn't come out. Probably not completely necessary to come out, but it's more aesthetically pleasing, so that's why I'm taking them out.
So this is a made with meat chamber back sealer, and this is what we use to back seal all of our stuff. I like it to seal a little longer. I put it on 40. Put your bag on there, and then it'll suck all the air out of it and seal it. And there it is. Back sealed chicken. Now we just got to do about 50 more of those. Well, 50 more bags.
So I'm pausing for a moment. I want to put some peppercorns and different things down in there, but I could put it in a cheesecloth bag, or a nut bag.
Yeah.
And that way it's not all in the meat, it just adds the flavor to the broth. 1 whole onion, you don't even have to peel it. I cut the ends off and cut into 6 pieces and just threw those in there. I didn't measure anything, but I threw some peppercorns, a couple of bay leaves, I don't have any celery, so I put celery seeds. So threw those in there. And I'm getting ready to put some garlic in it. That just adds a little bit of richness to the broth. It had started boiling, so I'm just turning it down a little at a time. We just want it to stay at a good simmer for about 2 hours. And let all those flavors marry. But I just used you can use any kind of onion or garlic you want. I used a yellow onion. Just about like that size. Medium-sized onion.
Just the one?
Yep. And, I mean, I can always put more in.
Well, yeah, I'm sure we'll have another run.
Yeah, okay. And all of our garlic that we had in the fridge has sprouted, so we have some out in the, wonder if we have any that's ready to, no. Full.
I don't want to.
So I'm just gonna put a couple little teaspoons of minced garlic in just to give it a little garlic flavor. And all this stuff gets strained out, so when we go to actually where we're gonna store the broth, all the bones, fat, seasonings, everything gets ran through a colander that has a cheesecloth in it, so it catches all this stuff. It's just in it for flavor. And I don't put a lot of anything in it. One thing I normally do put in it is some carrots, which we don't have, so we're just winging it today.
Yeah. And you can do nothing. I mean, you can put nothing in there.
And it's broth, yeah. And I do not add, I might add a pinch of salt, but not a lot, because most of the time when we're using that, we'll be putting it in other prepared dishes, and you don't want to overpower it with salt. So, my pinch, about like so. This looks like it's at a good simmer. A couple bay leaves, peppercorns, and I did tell you about the celery seeds. Okay, looks like all that's down in there. You can see that fat floating up. That's how you know it's rich. Good yellow stuff. Talk about some good chicken and dumplings.
Yeah, it doesn't look anything like regular old store-bought in the metal can.
Nor does it taste like it either.
No,
Good stuff.
it's totally different. Those are all-American pressure canners. That one, the far one, the big one's a quart one, or 2 pints, and the smaller one are pints. And tell them.
This was my grandmother's.
Yeah.
When she had it, the pressure gauge didn't work, and then you couldn't just get online and order a replacement pressure gauge. So she had used it so much, so long, that she could go by the sound of the jiggler to know about where her poundage was. But she didn't trust it enough to let us stay in the house when she was doing it. So, us kids we did the grunt work, so we picked the stuff and prepared the stuff, strung and broke beans and shucked and silk corn and all that good stuff. But then when it come time to can it, I had to teach myself as an adult, because my grandmother passed when I was 19. And at that time, I wasn't interested in any of this stuff. Well, a little bit, but I didn't have the time. And of course, I'm sure we can all say that. We wish we could go back and do certain things. And that's one thing that I wish I could do, is go back and learn stuff from my grandmother. But anyway, this was hers. We got online and bought a new pressure gauge for it, a new steam spout, and new jiggler. Did we get these two? No, okay. This one I bought it at an estate sale. And I don't think they knew what they had because I paid, what, $15 for it? Yeah. And we didn't even check to see if the pressure gauge worked. It looked old, so we just went ahead and replaced it, and this too. These cleaned up real nice. And of course, they're or cast aluminum, and they just wore over years and years. So they're not those shiny bright ones, but hey, they work, and they work wonderfully. I had a
How many Prestos?
Presto.
How many do we have?
We probably got 5 Prestos.
At least. Yeah, I mean, we got.
I don't know
I
how
got
many.
3 down there, and I think there's 2 in here.
I had at least, well, I had 1. That was my
And
very
Mom
first
gave you
one.
2.
Yeah. Your mom gave you 3, didn't she?
Maybe she did. I don't know.
So anyway, that was my first pressure canner. One I could afford was a Presto. And I thought, hey, a pressure canner is a pressure canner. So I used it for years. And then...
It was a pain.
It
You didn't want a pressure can that much.
Yeah, because you had to babysit it. You had to be... It didn't really have... It had a stopper that went on the steam thing, but it didn't jiggle. So it wouldn't release steam. So when it got up to its pressure, it'd just keep building, and you'd have to... Even on low, the lowest of low, it would still keep building. So I'd have to sit here and just kind of twist this up and down to just let off a little steam at a time, kind of like a jiggler would do. And so you had to sit on it the whole time. And I don't know if all Prestos are that way or if it was just that one, but that's all I have experience with. So
Well,
we are spoiled by these because you can put the pound. So say it's 10 pounds of pressure that you have to process it at. It has 5, 10, and 15 on the weight, or what I call the jiggler. So you put it on the 10, you turn it on, and when it gets up to 10, a little past 10, it'll start jiggling. And then you know you can turn the thing down. But even if you're on low, you can turn it all the way to low and it still keeps that pressure. This will jiggle and let off the extra steam and pretty much keep you right at 10 or 11. It won't go under 10 unless, well, it will go under, but it won't go like way up.
Yeah, it lets off the steam where the other one wouldn't.
Yeah. So we can walk away from it. Not that we'd go too far, but we don't feel like we have to be right on top of it.
Yeah, you're not babysitting that.
Yeah.